Do you ever feel like you're running a race that has no finish line? Like you're drowning in deadlines, notifications, and that constant pressure to just do more, be more? This is a story about someone who hit that wall. They were burned out, lost, and felt completely crushed by the weight of the modern world. And it's no surprise. Studies show high achievers are incredibly susceptible to burnout, which is really just a sign of how out of balance our lives have become. But what if the secret to finding peace isn't about running faster, but learning how to stand still? What if a few timeless, practical ideas held the key to finding your calm right in the middle of all this chaos? Stick around, because the wisdom that changed their life might just change yours, too. The turning point. For so many of us, life feels like one long fight. We're pushing against deadlines and battling our own anxieties. It's like standing on a beach trying to fight every single wave that comes ashore. It's exhausting. The person in our story realized this. They weren't just tired from work. They were tired from the fight itself. Their search for an answer didn't lead them to some new productivity hack. It led them to ancient philosophical frameworks for looking at the world. They discovered that inner peace isn't about stopping the waves from coming, but learning how to surf them. It's a journey that starts by looking inward, not outward. And it all begins with a few simple, powerful lessons. The art of effortless action. The first lesson is the art of letting go. There's an ancient principle for this, sometimes described as effortless action. This isn't about being lazy. It's about being like a sailboat captain who doesn't fight the wind, but instead adjusts their sails to harness its power. It's about moving with your life, not against it. Imagine trying to hold water in your fist. The harder you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. But if you cup your hand gently, you can hold it. Life is a lot like that. We are taught to control every outcome, which creates an insane amount of stress. We suffer, not because things are hard, but because we're so attached to our own rigid plans. This philosophy teaches us to embrace the natural flow of life. Letting go means accepting what is, focusing your energy only on what you can actually influence, like a sailor focusing on the sails, not the wind, and letting the rest go. Have you ever stopped to think about how much energy you burn trying to steer the weather? This lesson is an invitation to put that weight down. It's the strange but true idea that to gain control, you first have to be willing to give it up. Your mind is a garden. There's an old saying, what you think, you become. This leads us to our second lesson. Your mind is a garden. If we're being honest, many of our minds are overgrown plots. The weeds of anxiety, self-criticism, and fear grow wild, choking out the flowers of peace and self-compassion. This isn't our fault. Modern life can feel like a broken sprinkler system, constantly spraying our garden with negativity. But these philosophies teach us that we are the gardeners. This is the whole point of mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't about stopping your thoughts. Think of your mind as a busy train station. You don't have to jump on every train that pulls in. You can simply sit on the bench and watch the trains, your thoughts, come and go. When a weed pops up in a garden, a good gardener doesn't get angry. They simply acknowledge it's there and gently pull it to make room for what they want to grow. You can do the same with your thoughts. This is a practice of actively cultivating compassion. What flowers do you want to grow in your garden? By tending to your thoughts with gentle intention, you can make your mind a source of peace, not a source of suffering. Bend like bamboo, don't break like oak. The third lesson comes from watching nature. Think of a mighty oak tree in a storm. It stands tall and rigid, resisting the wind. But a strong enough gust can shatter it.
Now, think about bamboo. It's slender, but in that same storm, it bends with the wind. When the storm passes, it springs right back up, unharmed. The bamboo is a symbol for the power of psychological flexibility. We often try to be the oak, resisting change and fighting setbacks. That stiffness is what leads to burnout. It's like when your GPS tells you the road ahead is closed. Being an oak is trying to drive through the barrier. Being bamboo is letting the GPS calmly reroute you. A core principle here is that the soft and yielding will overcome the hard and strong. This isn't about being weak. It's about being resilient. Your career will take weird turns. Your plans will fall apart. Trying to fight that is a battle you'll never win. Instead, we can learn to bend. When you hit a roadblock, can you find a way to flow around it? When you have a setback, can you see it as a chance to adapt, not as a failure? This is the wisdom of the bamboo. Being flexible means you'll never have to break. The power of an open heart. And that brings us to our fourth lesson, the power of compassion. In a competitive world, we often become our own biggest critic. This constant self-judgment is like trying to run a race while carrying a heavy backpack full of rocks. It just slows you down and steals your peace. Ancient philosophies offer a radical idea. Practice compassion and start with yourself. Self-compassion isn't about making excuses. It's about choosing to put the backpack down. It's treating yourself with the same kindness you'd give to a good friend who is struggling. It's recognizing that being imperfect is part of being human. From there, compassion naturally starts to flow outward. A daily practice is to extend kindness not just for people you love, but for strangers, and even for difficult people. This changes everything. Compassion is like a lamp. It doesn't just light the way for others. It also warms the person holding it. How often do you give yourself that kind of grace? By cultivating this compassion, you can melt away feelings of isolation and build real inner strength. Finding the stillness in the storm. This last lesson is crucial for our nonstop world. Finding stillness in the middle of the storm. A core idea from Zen philosophy is that inner peace isn't found by getting rid of the noise outside, but by discovering the quiet center that's already inside you. Think of your mind like a snow globe. When life shakes it up, everything inside is a swirling chaos of thoughts and worries. But if you just set it down for a moment and let it be, the snow will naturally settle, and you can see clearly again. We don't have to force our thoughts to be still. We just have to give them the space to settle. This is the practice of finding moments of being, not just doing. It can be as simple as pausing for a few deep breaths. As one famous teacher put it, even washing the dishes can be a meditation, if you are fully present. You don't have to retreat to a mountaintop. You can find this stillness right where you are, waiting in line, walking to your car, or sipping a cup of tea. This practice is the antidote to feeling overwhelmed. You stop being the snow, swept up in the chaos, and become the globe itself, the calm, steady presence at the center. The transformation. So what happened to that person from our story? They didn't quit their job and run off to a monastery. The chaos outside didn't disappear. What changed was their world inside. They learned to surf the waves of life instead of fighting them. They started tending to their mind like a garden, calmly pulling weeds and planting seeds of peace. They learned to bend like bamboo, letting life reroute them around obstacles. They put down the backpack of self-criticism and developed their capacity for compassion. And most importantly, they discovered the stillness of the snow globe. finding their calm center even on the most chaotic days. Their life is still full, but they're no longer drowning. They found that the finish line they were so desperately chasing wasn't somewhere off in the distance. It was right here, in the quiet wisdom of this very moment.
Conclusion. These 5 lessons, letting go, tending to your mind, being flexible, showing compassion, and finding stillness, aren't complicated doctrines. They are practical, timeless guides for navigating this messy, beautiful thing called life. They remind us that while we can't always control the chaos on the outside, we always have the power to create calm on the inside. The journey to inner peace isn't a race to a destination. It's the moment-by-moment practice of coming home to yourself. If this resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more ideas to help you navigate the modern world. And let us know in the comments, which of these lessons did you need to hear the most right now?